Hi, I'm Colin.
And I'm Bert.
This is Dabbing with Washington Artists. The idea is simple. 6 questions.
And 6 dabs.
As we get to know the artists behind the art that makes Washington, Washington.
So sit back and light those torches.
Because this is Dabbing with Washington Artists.
Hi, my name is Eric Gyllenblad, and I'm an artist, a guitar player. I just moved here from Minnesota, and I was able to come onto this podcast, which was super cool. And yeah, I make music, I make ski chairs into art. Like, I take old downhill skis and I make it into art. I make chairs and benches, and I make music. I'm a guitar player. I'm always learning, always up to collab with artists, and I'm thankful to be on the show.
For today's series of dabs, we will begin our smoke session with the blueberry cookies, an ice cream cake, and a forbidden fruit, and we will round out the interview with a Georgia pie, a Caesar's punch, and a pineapple glue.
All right, today we are with Eric Gyllenblad. Eric, thank you so much for being a part of the show. We really appreciate having you on here.
Excellent, thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely. Bert, what do we have for Dab?
So, for number 1, we have blueberry cookies.
Blueberry cookies is an indica-dominant hybrid known for its distinct taste of berries and roasted nuts, and tendencies to leave the smokers calm and relaxed. We found a gram of this saucy wax at a shop in 112th Street in Everett.
Perfect.
Oh, that's smooth. Very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Very
Got
nice.
a kind of nice scent to it.
Oh, this is, yeah.
Yeah, it's blueberry cookies.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Excellent.
First question we love to ask everybody is, what role does cannabis play in your creative process?
Sure, so for me, cannabis just really helps to facilitate the creative flow, I guess. It kind of just puts things in perspective more, or it helps me kind of tune into, especially if I'm writing music or just writing lyrics, like kind of just slows things down or just gives you a good state of mind or comprehension to facilitate the creative writing process.
Absolutely.
For myself anyway.
Yeah.
That's just me. It's different for everybody, you know, but I've always enjoyed using cannabis in my creative arts. I just feel it opens different chambers in your mind, or it just kind of facilitates with the process, makes it a lot smoother for me anyway. But
Do you remember like the first time you got torched and were like, I feel like I can do something with this?
yeah, I mean, I used to just, you know, I was always kind of the band kid in school, but I've always used cannabis responsibly to, I mean, music, like it would just get together with my buddies and be like, hey man, you got a quarter, you know, and then just burn and just make music, just, you know, share, pass around a bowl, and all right, let's get stony and get inspired here and write some music, so
Right on.
yeah.
For number 2, you know, let me go ahead and start passing this around now while I'm loading it. Is the ice cream cake.
Ooh, yeah.
Ice cream cake is an indica-dominant strain known for its rich terpene profile of vanilla and sugarcane, and tendencies to leave the smoker calm and euphoric. We picked up a gram of these sugar diamonds at a shop in Bothell Everett Highway in Everett.
Yeah, like he's not afraid to hit it.
Very nice.
That was delicious.
What'd you like about it?
You can just taste like that earthy kind of, or that like pininess. Or like,
Yeah.
it's, just, it's smooth. It's really smooth.
All right, we've had to modify our second question a little bit because you, from what we understand, move around quite a bit.
Yeah,
I
do.
So you recently moved to Washington from Minnesota.
Yes.
How has the Washington art scene been treating you? And would you say you've noticed like any differences between here and Minnesota?
So what I noticed right away, I went to an organic food co-op, and they had like Alex Jones and Android Jones calendars, which I saw right away, which I'm a huge fan of their art. And just to see that in like a local store was like, okay, like, and just there's a lot of murals, like paintings around the cities that are really cool, because I'm like from a super small town in Minnesota.
Gotcha.
Really small, which I love it. I have really good friends and family back there. It just is there's a lot more diversity, a lot more culture. It's much different because I basically came from like a super small, kind of in the woods up north in Minnesota, like cabiny vibe, to like a huge city.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool though. I like to experience different areas. It's just like I feel like there's a lot more opportunity to meet with artists and network with new people out here. And with COVID, I'm just praying that this, ends for everybody. Because
Oh, sure.
what I miss the most is just open mics and like
Yeah.
being able to
Yeah.
meet people and like just smoke or have a few drinks if that's your thing, or just go for the music and just for the the culture and just to meet artists in that scene. But I feel like just doing this interview right now, it just is. It's really cool you guys are having me on because I've just been like, how do I get my art out to people, or like how do I reach more artists
Absolutely.
and musicians, especially because I just moved here and with COVID going on, it's hard to meet. I'm more
For
of an
sure.
in-person person,
Yeah.
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 So-
absolutely.
yeah. It's cool though. Bigger city, different change of pace, but I enjoy it.
All right. So for number 3,
Yes.
we have
We have-
Forbidden Fruit.
Forbidden Fruit is an indica dominant hybrid with a complex and rich terpene profile with hints of musk, cherries, and fruitiness, and has a tendency to leave the smoker couch-locked. We found these sugary diamonds at a shop on 7th Avenue in Linwood.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I love it.
And so you definitely like to keep yourself busy.
Absolutely.
As an artist, you've got your furniture, candles, and you've also got music and travel.
Yeah.
How has COVID affected your ability to produce music or to create art?
So, COVID and art. I've been back in Minnesota. I worked at a resort and I did bartending and I did hospitality for a while. I was always a really busy guy and I never had a lot of time to work on art and music. I did, but I was so busy with my job working at a resort. Basically, COVID hit, and then all the events stopped happening, so everyone was laid off, and that gave me time, however, to be like, okay, now that I have all this free time, how can I channel this into entrepreneurship or something productive, or get back to my roots and get back to my passion?
Mm-hmm.
And I had a bunch of old skis in the garage because I'm a downhill skier, and they had the ski swap in Minnesota where you go there and they sell old skis and old boots, and I was like, I want to go skiing. So I went to go to the ski swap, and then in this meant for the landfill, they had all these old Rossignol skis, and they're just gonna throw them away. There's 15 of them. They're from the local ski hill to recycle them, and I was thinking, I'm like, I could take those and make those into chairs. And I had this idea where I was like, I can take these, repurpose the material. It's good for the environment and it's creative.
Yeah.
And then they just sat in my parents' garage for 4 months because I got them before COVID hit. This was in November, just like a ski swap thing, and then they were just sitting in the garage. And then I was working, and then COVID hit, and I'm just like, now I have time to do things with these. So I called up my buddy and my friend Christian. He's a really good carpenter. He's had this vision of entrepreneurship for forever with carpentry and just fine woodworking. And I was like, hey, buddy, can I come over and use your garage? I got these skis, man. And I brought all these skis over to his garage. And he was like, what are you doing with these? And I was like, I'm thinking about making chairs.
Nice.
And then I just literally, just was in the garage from 6 p.m. till 3 in the morning, just hammering, nailing, sawing. The neighbors were probably like, what is going on? Sparks are flying, skis are getting hit with saw blades. But I just started building these chairs, and then they started actually turn out kind of nice. And I got a little knack for it.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. So it gave me COVID to sum up. Yeah, COVID just gave me more time, free time to create art.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
So as an artist, it's good. as a whole for the world population, it's not. But
Right.
for artists and musicians, it's more of time for us to like really tap into new material, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's always, you can't ever be upset about making the best of a bad situation.
Exactly.
Optimism, it's all about your perception. It's like it's like you can stay just stuck and miserable like in the dark, or you can be the light and go into that darkness and be like, I'm gonna create and mold something beautiful out of this, or try to make something
Absolutely.
just passionate, like from the heart. Yeah, that
For
people are gonna like. That's cool.
All right, so what do we have for dab number 4?
So number 4, this one's a bit of a different consistency in the last couple, is Georgia Pie.
Georgia Pie is a sativa-dominant hybrid known for its distinct taste and smell of fresh-baked cobbler. Known for its more indica-like head and body high, this strain commonly leaves the smokers with a floating effect. We scored a gram of this batter at a shop in Marysville.
Smells like home cooking.
Oh, that's tasty.
That's kind of nice, right?
Yeah, home cooking.
It actually kind of looks like a
Oh,
a
wow.
pie crumble though.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
Oh
That's
yeah.
how that started
Yeah,
last
that's
time.
all.
Yeah, it's interesting that it's like not really that liquidy. It's super crumbly. Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Thank you.
So you have
What's
a
up?
line of furniture you create using refurbished or reclaimed equipment.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges associated with using reclaimed materials versus starting from scratch?
Sure. So, few points on that. One of them was finding the material, finding that old material, and some of it is you literally like 80s or 90s skis or like water ski. Like they don't make stuff like that anymore.
Okay.
So it's kind of a cool characteristic for the artistic piece, just because it's so, older or it's unique. But for one, finding the material, and then I remember when I first started sawing through some of the skis, like just getting some of those bindings off on some of those super old skis. Like some of them had been like we'd go to thrift stores, we'd go on Marketplace, my friend and I would go on, garage sale stuff and just like trying to repurpose them. And you guys are throwing these out, we'll take them off your hands, and then we'll make multiple sets of them, and then create spreadsheets and create a business, and figure out how to incorporate a vast production of them. I probably made 15 chairs, a few benches this summer.
Nice.
With all the COVID free time, it was like a little work. It was insane. Like the workshop that we used, we would have like 50 downhill skis, and like you could just pick from like 50 different, and then like water skis too. Water skis are a huge hit, especially for the summers.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, like a 3 chair, like a 3 ski bench. That one was always fun because big long water ski up, like one on the bottom and 2 on the back, and then just like kick back on a water ski bench.
Hell yeah.
So I don't know a whole lot about like a ski equipment, but like,
Sure.
is there any element of like disassembly you have to do for some of these pieces?
This is what I was gonna get to you too and elaborate a little more on is, so there's like on these downhill skis, in the water skis, bindings. Some of them, we'd have drills and we'd be drilling them out. We'd, buy decent bits. But some of these were so rusted over, you'd just be like taking an actual screwdriver, or just using all you'd have a dumpster and just throwing in like, here's 100 ski bindings, just ripping them off, and then sawing through the skis every time. You'd have to have a bandana and glove, like eye equipment and gloves on, because they'd spark like
Oh wow.
insanely, because it was crazy, because you'd like put the saw blade on the ski and then just start like so safety was a big precaution.
I bet, yeah.
It was super fun though. Had a lot of fun making them, because my friend and I, we did carpentry, and like he does architecture and carpentry for the main facet, but my skill set, I just kind of like helped my friend grow this small business, and then I was the ski chair dude.
Yeah.
We did like tech support and digital work, because I'm going to college for IT work currently. I code
Nice.
computers.
Oh, right on.
I'm a nerd.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm
like,
they are too.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, but that's my response to that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
For number 5, we have Caesar's Punch,
Caesar's Punch.
which is another sativa dominant hybrid.
Caesar's Punch is a hybrid known for its complex blend of earthiness, diesel, and mint, and has a tendency to leave the smoker with a serious case of the munchies. We found a gram of this crumble at a dispensary on Evergreen Way in Everett.
Oh, it smells amazing. Wow.
Yeah, I really
Looks
like
like a
that one.
moon rock, like a amazing consistency, amazing quality.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Well,
I think it's kind of like a sandy texture.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Something like
cool. All right, let's see what
All
we got
right.
here.
that. There it goes.
Show us what you got.
Excellent.
Yeah, buddy.
Beautiful.
Wow, that one tastes like earth, like super earthy, or
We were noticing that too, yeah.
like really
Mhm.
earthy. Yeah, it's good. It's very good though.
All right. So we noticed that you have a unique style and sound to your guitar playing. We wanted to ask, like, what guitarists would you say have influenced your sound?
Guitarists that influence, Pink Floyd is probably one of my favorite bands. David Gilmour.
I love Pink Floyd.
Absolutely.
Yes, I got on a Pulse Pink Floyd shirt right now. I got Pink Floyd tattoos. I got the shirts. No, I'm a huge Pink Floyd fan. Carlos Santana, huge
Yep.
Santana
Yes.
fan. You know, Jimi Hendrix, huge fan. Clapton, just that. You know, Jimmy Page. You know, Randy Rhoads, Eddie Van
A lot
Halen,
of
bless their
classics.
hearts.
Yeah.
Tony Iommi, Black Sabbath. I really grew up. My parents would always have on classic rock, or grew up just listening to music, just growing up, and like
Absolutely.
started playing guitar when I was super young. Had a little black and white Fender Squier.
Oh, okay.
To just start out with. And when I was younger, I was taking guitar lessons, and then I kind of gave up on it. I was probably 8 or 9, and like had my first guitar lessons. My parents were like, "We're gonna get you guitar lessons," and then I couldn't really do it. I just couldn't do it, and then I kind of gave up on it. And then we moved to where we moved in Minnesota from where we were living, and then I was probably 14, and I met my friend, and then he suggested guitar tabs for like learning more of guitar.
Yeah.
So I went online, and then my buddy was like, "Yeah, man, there's like just these numbers on lines and stuff, and like instead of like traditional sheet music." And I started to just like get these tabs and print out. I would have like so much of my parents' printer paper was used to printing guitar tabs. Like I would have hundreds just like printed out tabs, and I would just after school every day I would go down to my room and just work on music for a long time, like, and just really channel and focus into music. And it takes time to develop as an artist and grow, and you can always grow. And it's just, I guess, finding that courage to grow, or like finding that to step into that realm of like, okay, like things are starting to get real as an artist, or not even real. You can always improve as an artist, and like,
Absolutely.
yeah, and just collaboration and just being open, like just opening up to the abundance of the universe, and just like that good, and then just being able to collaborate and meeting, because there's so much cool work and art in the world, like, and now is a good time for people to refine more of their craft, I feel like, as well. So
Yeah, absolutely.
with anything,
Mhm.
any profession you're in or any hobby you're in, it's just, I feel like now is a good time to just like really get focused in on what you're good at, and then just channel into positive energy into that, and just choose optimism and like a positive mindset in approaching it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Sure. Yeah.
100%.
I don't know. It's just my thought. I'm just like rambling. And
Yeah, no,
That's all good.
That's what we're looking for. So what do we have for Deb
yeah,
number
what
6?
do we have here?
So for number 6 is pineapple glue.
Pineapple glue is a well-balanced hybrid known for its strong and distinct pineapple taste and smell, and its cerebral high that leaves the smoker calm and chatty. We scored a gram of this doughy crumble at a dispensary on 64th Avenue in Bothell.
Perfect.
Pineapple, yeah, no doubt.
All right, so you released an album late last year before moving to Washington. It's called Music to Mow the Lawn To.
Yeah,
Absolutely love it.
music to the lawn too.
What are some of the things that you learned while you were producing that album that you would like to incorporate into future projects?
Sure. So it was my friend Austin and I. We created this album, and I grew up like he was my next door neighbor friend, like growing up as a kid, and he had moved out to the West Coast years prior, like a few years ago, and was working on music out here. And then he moved back from Portland to Minnesota, and he was like, "Hey man, I've got my Taylor guitar. Do you want to make an album and work on music again? Like after all these years of not talking since we were friends." And I'm like, "Let's make a band, man." Well, he was like, he's like, "Are we a band, dude?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude." Like he's like, "We've been friends since kids, man. Like, let's make a band, man." But that album got recorded. We were like, all right, like, we're gonna do this. And we were like, how do we get the acoustics to record this album? We were at a cabin in Minnesota, and we were just like spending all day, just like figuring out how do we record this. And then we set up the acoustics. It was like in the bathroom of a cabin, and I had like an old Guitar Hero microphone, like a USB microphone from like a Guitar Hero, like a game growing up. But it worked as a USB mic, like a Logitech USB mic.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was like, okay. And then I had Mixcraft for software from growing up as a kid, and I was just like, let's make an album, man. And then we recorded that whole album in like 5 hours.
Oh, wow.
We like cranked it out. Like we had been meeting up and practicing for a while. Like we'd go out, I'd drive out, with my Subaru, and we'd be in like open farm country land where we would practice. Like, and he'd have his dog with, and we'd just be like out in like farm country, or just like no distractions, or just like be sitting by a lake in Minnesota to make the songs and create them. And we really worked well together. Like the music was more about just like moving on from the past and like old relationships, or just like moving forward. And just there was references a lot to alcohol in the album as well, just like that. I feel like in the world there's like people who can control their alcohol, and then some who can't so much.
Right.
And that's why cannabis I really enjoy, because I just wish we had more of that over alcohol in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to drink, man. Or if you want to smoke. But just don't, be irresponsible. Like, just, yeah.
Right.
There's a time and a place for everything. But
Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Dabbing with Washington Artists.
Make sure to share with your friends and click like and follow below for more great content. Also, check the links below for the more information about the artists and some of their current projects.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Do it now.